Hi, so we're going to do a little workout with some weights and a flex band. Let's just start off by laying on a mat with a bit of head support if you need it. Just finding your neutral position, so bring your feet together, take your heels apart, bring your toes in line, just lifting up once and down, nice and flat on the tailbone with a little bit of a lower back gap, and just gently allowing your ribs to drop down onto the mat, widen through the collarbones, and just allow yourself for just a moment just to do some good breathing practice. So if you wish, you can just bring your hands onto your tummy, and as you breathe in, feel how your belly lifts, and as you breathe out, feel how that feeling of a corset tightening around your middle. So a little bit of resistance into the hands can sometimes help. Feel where you should be breathing this diaphragmatic breath. Just do a couple more. So 3D rib expansion as well. So feeling your ribs expand from the sides, the front, the back, without letting yourself create any tension through your neck. So let's just go into a little bit of imprint. So we're going to bring our fingers onto our pelvis and our thumbs onto our rib cage. It's a breath in. As you breathe out, ribs and hips connect, lower back gap disappears, a little bit of a gentle lumbar flexion, so an opening, lengthening of the lower back, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, just tipping back onto your tailbone, releasing the rib cage slightly. So it's a breath in, as you breathe out, imprint, breath in to hold, breath out to release back to neutral. Let's just do 3 more. So breath in to prepare, breathe out, a little bit of lower back flexion into the mats, breathe in, hold, breathe out to release back. 2 more. And your last one coming up here. So we're going to take hold of the weights, whether they be cans or these small weights here. Just bringing the weights above your shoulders. We're going to lift up to the ceiling, a little bit of protraction of the shoulder blades, and releasing back down. So reaching and stretching and releasing. So it's an in-breath to lift. Try not to let the rib cage move. Just feel you're gliding and sliding your shoulder blades around the ribs, and release. Last one here. Back into the middle. We're going to scissor. Breath out to open. Breath into the middle. Breath out to open and reach and stretch. Breath into the middle. So maybe doing another couple to each side, just getting that feeling of openness through the chest, keeping the collarbones wide. And do 1 more to each side. It's an out breath to open and an in breath to come back to the middle. Out breath to open, go back to the middle. So bringing the hands down to the sides, a little bit of elevation and depression. So you could just roll some cans if you have weights, which are cans. So they roll forwards and backwards. So nice position to do elevation and depression because your hands and arms are slightly lifted to shoulder height. So it's a nice line. So just going to do 2 more. And the last one here. So we're going to just now start to warm up the spine a little bit, bring the heels a little bit closer into your bottom, into a hip roll. So you travel through imprint first of all. As you breathe out, squeeze your bottom as you peel up through your spine, sending your knees over your feet, big toe, little toe, heel connection into the mat, breath in at the top. And as you breathe out, peeling back down, all the way down through to the bottom. So it's a breath in, as you breathe out, peeling up through to the top. Send the knees away from you, breath in, lifting the pelvis. As you breathe out, releasing back down, finding every single vertebra with the mat. So it's like a bicycle chain, moving through your spine, stretching those small little muscles, lengthening as you come down. Just going to do 1 more here. And then we're going to add in a little bit more resistance with band to give your glutes, your bottom muscle, something to work with. So taking hold of the band, just cross it over your pelvis. So you have a little bit of resistance down into the mat, but as you peel up, you work through the band, press into the band, breath in, as you breathe out, coming all the way through. So with this, be careful you don't round the shoulders, try and keep the collarbones wide, using the glutes at that top range, feeling like you're squeezing your bottom towards the back of the leg, forming creases in your trousers as you go through. Last one here, all the way up. So we're just going to bring the legs together, take the hands out to the sides, just gently out to the sides with the palms facing up, glue the legs together and just dropping the knees to the side, looking to the opposite direction. Breath in here as you breathe out, peeling back, using your waistline to draw you back into the middle so you're flat on your tailbone. So you breathe out to open. Breath in here as you breathe out back through. Let's just do 3 more to each side. So it's a little bit of rotation through the spine, but you're using the waistline to pull your ribs back first, then your pelvis, and then your knees. So not just dragging the legs back in, but finding the stretch here, and then engaging through these waistline muscles to draw you back in. Let's just do 1 more to each side, gluing the legs together, trying to not let the ribs lift and the ribs push back through, then the waistline, then the pelvis, then the legs. Last one here. And all the way back in. So let's come onto our sides. We can support the head underneath, the arm supports the head underneath, and just lifting the waistline here. I'm going to take the fronts of the legs to the front of the mat, taking hold of a weight here, just bringing the weight above the shoulder and just feel how that weight enables you to sort of feel the connection more of your arm bone into the shoulder socket. So as you breathe out, we rotate through the ribs, turning the head to look through to the arm. Breath in here. As you breathe out, closing back, and you can just release the arm back down to the mat. So we're just going to do a set of 4. You breathe in. As you breathe out, the rib cage rotates. You follow through with the head to look at the arm. Breath in to hold, and breathe out to come back through the rib cage and close back down. If you want to lose the weight, you can just do this without the weight. Obviously, the weight makes it more challenging with gravity. So you're rolling through, breath in as you breathe out to close through. 1 last one. Breath in as you breathe out, turning, looking towards the arm, spinning through the rib cage. Obviously, you're limited a little bit by space maybe here. Let's come on to the other side. So spinning round, bringing the fronts of the legs in a right angle to the front of the mat. So your spine is nice and straight, your head is in line. And just once again, just finding that connection, first of all, through the shoulder. As you breathe out, you're turning. Breath in. I haven't got much room to turn here, but you can go as far as you feel that you can keep the rib cage in. So not letting your ribs go and lift. Try and keep the rib cage in, so you're spinning through and releasing back down. 2 more. Breath in as you breathe out, rotate. And once again, if you feel that the weight isn't helping you, then just go without the weight. Breath in as you breathe out to rotate. Come back into the middle and closing back up. So we're just going to bring the band so that it is along the mat to do a little bit of abs preps. So you're going to use the mat, the band as a little bit of a hammock for your head. So when we're doing anything with curl ups, you need to relax through the hips. So everything from the belly button down is now going to sleep, and we have a little bit of a gap of our lower back, and we're in neutral with the ribs connected. So we're just finding a little bit of support in the neck here. So elbows are just about shoulder distance apart, and just nod the chin as you breathe out, flexing, using the band to help you get that lovely upper back shape. Breath in to hold, your tailbone should be heavy. As you breathe out, the band supports you back down. So breath in, it's gentle with the band, you're not pulling the band too much, it's just supporting through the middle. Breath in. As you breathe out, release back down. Another 3. Nodding the chin, flexing up, ribs to hips. Breath in and release back down. 2 more. Nod the chin. Flexing up. Let's add a leg slide as you slide one leg away on your in-breath. Breathe out, pull back. Breath in, slide the other leg. Breath out to come back. Breath in to hold and release back down. Let's just do one more. Nod the chin. Flexing up. Slide away with the leg on the in-breath. Breathe out to draw back. Keep the heel on the floor like you're gliding in sand with the legs. So really controlling through and releasing back down. Nicely done. So we're just going to come into a hip release. Hands on the pelvis is a really good place to be because it gives you some feedback about whether your pelvis is moving. I'm just going to drop one knee to the side as you breathe in. As you breathe out, push away on the little toe onto the big toe and draw back in. 3 in each direction on each side. We're just using the full hip here. Press through and reverse your direction. Big toe onto little toe and draw back in. Big toe, little toe, draw back in. Big toe, little toe, draw back in. Onto the other side, little toe, push away. Big toe, draw back in. Push away. One more, pelvis stays nice and still. Reversing your direction, push onto the big toe, little toe, draw back through. Breath in to start, breathe out to finish. Push away, last one. And there you go. So we're going to come onto our fronts. Let's take hold of the band and pop it behind us. So we have it behind the shoulder blades to do some breaststroke prep. So just tucking the ribs in, nose is balanced on the mat, legs are parallel, hands either side of the ears. Remember, the first thing is to breathe in, draw shoulder blades down your back. As you breathe out, push your imaginary marble away, peel your breastbone. Lower rib is staying down all the time and lengthening from the top of the head. Feel the stretch. Breath in to hold. As you breathe out, we release back down to the mat and release the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades glide down. Push your imaginary marble away. Peeling up, finding that lovely shape through the upper back. Breath in. If you're feeling it in your lower back, think about getting more length rather than height. Feel that shoulder blade connection first as you lengthen. And release back down. We've got one last one to go. So this is our breaststroke prep 1. And gliding up. And releasing back down. So we can just put the band to the side. We're going to just create a diamond with the hands, allowing the forehead to come down. This time as you breathe out, you're pressing into the mat and finding the extension this way. Breath in. As you breathe out, releasing back down. Breath in, shoulder blades. Breathe out to press. Find the extension. Look just to the front of the mat. Breath in to hold. And breathe out to release back down. 3 more. Shoulder blades glide in. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to hold. And breathe out to release back down. 2 more. Shoulder blades. And extend. And release. Last one here. Up to the top. Hold it there for the in-breath. And release back down. Let's come back on to our heels, just stretching out through the back, stretching the fingers. Nicely done. So we just come on to our backs. There's a bit of one leg circles. So with the band, you can do all sorts of things with the band with one leg circle. I'm going to show you a couple of options here. The band is around the foot. This leg on the floor can either be bent or could be straight. You need to have your hamstring nicely stretched out. So you could just use this as an opportunity to get a little stretch through the hamstring first of all. Remember, the tailbone needs to be flat when you are, so your pelvis is nice and flat and your tailbone is down on the mat. You can just turn the leg either way just to get a little bit of stretch through the hamstring. If we go into a one leg circle here, I'm keeping my arms down on the mat and my elbows just as an anchor. So you breathe in to open up, breathe out to close your circle. So it's a breath in, bit of dynamic movement through the pelvis maybe as you circle round. Keeping the back of the legs straight, keeping the knees straight if you can, really feeling the movement through. This is the last one. And then we circle the other way. So keeping the knee and the foot facing behind you. So you almost feel like you've got to turn the foot in slightly to stop it swinging out to the side. Last one coming up here. We can change over and bring the leg in. Once again, if you need to keep the knee on the floor bent, you can do, or you straighten it out. Find your hamstring stretch, that little turn, first of all. So opening up the hamstring, really pushing out the back of the knee. I'm going to circle round and back in. So I've got to cut my circle a little bit short here because I've got too close to the wall. Let's just do another 2. And your last one. And reversing. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. So bringing your feet into the band, heels come down to the floor, big stretch out. You could just cross the band over if you want to, just to secure it round your feet a little bit more. Come more to the ends of the band. A little bit of rib cage placement here. So you need to have quite a lot of the band to stretch through here. You breathe in, bring the hands up to above the shoulders. As you breathe out, the ribs are closing down as you reach behind. Breath in here. As you breathe out, the hands glide down to the mat. So I've got my thumbs on top, opening up the collarbones, ribs staying down. If you need some neck support, head support, pop something underneath your head here. So breath in. As you breathe out, stretch. Breathe in here and breathe out to come back down. And a breath in, push the heels away, connect through and reach and stretch. Breath in. Let's just do one more. So we've moved our spine through a little bit of extension. We've moved our spine through a little bit of flexion. Let's just come up to sitting. So you can either roll up through your seated position or roll onto your side. We're going to come and sit on a block or a cushion if you wish, or you can just have your legs on a diagonal or out straight if you wish, whichever you feel comfortable. The band is going to come around your back and we're just reaching out into our rotation. So as you turn, it's a breath in and then reach a bit more back into the middle. Breath in to rotate 1, 2, back into the middle, and 1, 2, back into the middle, 1, 2, back into the middle. Last one, 1, 2, back into the middle. Last one here, and into the middle. I'm going to bend the knees, bring your legs in, a little bit of a spine stretch forward just to find that flexion through. Breath in, nod the chin, breathe out to allow yourself to fold over your breastbone. Almost lifting your shoulders up to the ceiling. Feel the stretch. 2 or 3 breaths here. And breathe out and restack back up to seated. So just to finish with a side bend. So once again, you could use a weight if you wished to get a little bit more work, or if the weights don't work for you, then just let them go, because there's no point letting gravity take you over too much. So we breathe in, bring the arm up. As you breathe out, side bend over, reaching through, breath in. As you breathe out, release the arm back down. As I say, you don't need the weight. If you want to just use that stretch, so if you can see your arm in front of you, it's probably not close enough up to your ears. So even if You have to keep the arm here. You want to get the stretch right through to the arm line. And back through. Arm comes up. Reach up and stretch the rib away. Breath in. One more to each side. And reach. Last one coming up. And reach. So a very short little workout for you, just to get you into some weights and flex band work there. So I hope it's helpful.